Hi, my name is Jody Wariski. I am a IATAN card holder. I am a double gold consultant, and I am doing a training today on mock bookings. For those of you who have been on my trainings before, I do my mock booking trainings the exact same way all the time. And so I don't change anything up as far as how I do it. I've been very successful with it the way it's working. So if it's not broke, why fix it? This is how I do my mock booking trainings. Jump on other trainings with other trainers as well. Maybe you'll get something from them as well. Just because this works for me does not mean it will definitely work for you, or you might not like exactly how I do it. The one thing I do ask is when I'm sharing this into groups, when I'm posting it on my page, if you're going to copy what I do, just sort of change it around some so it's not word for word. It doesn't look exactly the same. So I do most of my mock bookings with VAX. The reason I love it is because you can save the itinerary, you can pull it up before you're going to share it into other groups, different times of the day or another day, and you can see if the price has increased. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And I will get started. Sorry. Okay. All right. So I always start with VAX. And the reason I said I start with VAX is you can save an itinerary. When you save an itinerary, you can then pull it up. And you can, I'm trying to see if I have a mock booking training here. You can pull it up and you can actually go and just say, like, this one I just did for my client. Let me pull up a different one. This is an older one. It's not a mock booking, it was something for a client. But I'm able to see if the price has increased. So when I do share, and I will teach you that later, when I share my mock bookings, if I see the price has increased, I don't share it anymore. I move on to the next mock booking. Okay. The one thing I don't like about VAX is how long it takes. So if you save an itinerary and you see it has a new price, it would say it up here in red, and you'd be able to check the price and see if it went up or not. Okay. So with VAX, you can go into Offer Wizard and promotions. I personally don't do that. For me, I book mostly all-inclusives. I book island vacations. What I tell people when you're starting off, try not to do too expensive. For me, I live outside Philadelphia. Cancun is really a great price. So I do a lot of Cancun. I try, if I'm going to start off with my mock bookings, I try and do 2 people for about $3,000. Today, I'm going to try actually more of a luxury one. I have a lot of clients that go to Punta Cana, Mexico, Jamaica, Aruba. I'm going to try one for Turks and Caicos today. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to pull it up as if you would a vacation package. You're looking for a client. I personally like to look for FunJet. What I do is I always search for FunJet and I try and price it out that way. However, if my client goes to book, I also check Travel Impressions. Sometimes if Travel Impressions has the exact same price, their commissions are better. So I would maybe book with Travel Impressions. So for me, I did a little searching this morning because I didn't want you to sit on this call and just watch me search. But basically, when I do a mock booking, I will search different dates to leave, different locations. When I first started, I played around with VAX a lot. I figured out what airlines will go out of which airport. So for me, I realized that Philadelphia, Mexico, and Punta Cana were the best value. Frontier flies a charter flight from there. I know that I can fly from Newark with United and JetBlue, and sometimes Newark, New Jersey has nonstop flights, which Philadelphia does not for certain islands. So I did notice this morning that Philadelphia was nonstop for a Saturday to Saturday, but most of my mock bookings are 5 nights. I like to do 5 nights. The client can always add more nights. And I have to tell you, most of the time when I share a mock booking, I do receive a lot of quotes from it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily book that exact place and that exact time period, but at least it's an advertisement for people to reach out to you. Okay, so I'm going to do it to Turks and Caicos. 2 adults. I find that I do 2 adults mostly. Sometimes if I'm going to do an all-inclusive for 2 adults and children, I would do 2 adults, 2 children. I would choose children's ages of 12 and under. The reason being, all-inclusives count children 13 and up as adults. So it's a different pricing. So when I would share that mock booking, I would say 2 adults, 2 children, ages 12 and under. But then I put can price different dates, hotel, number of children, price based on availability, price subject to change and availability, and dependent upon ages of children. Okay, and I can show you one of those when I show you my Facebook page. But I do a lot with 2 adults. I'm going to do this one, I'm going to push it out to May. I find that a lot of times when they fly on a Sunday, it's cheaper. So I'm going to do May 1st for 5 nights. I always choose travel protection, and I'm going to search. Okay, then I'm going to choose the outbound flights. I always do nonstop. So I'm going to do nonstop. Now for here, I could do JetBlue or I can do United. And I want to show you one other thing. So for United, there is United Airlines that you can go direct with them in Apple Leisure Group. The thing is, if you're going to do United Airlines, or if you're going to do Southwest Vacations or United Vacations or Southwest Vacations, if you go to change it. So I had somebody flying to St. Martin in this spring. United canceled all their flights, or it may have been St. Lucia, but canceled all their flights. So I was not able to rebook them. But if I booked them in FunJet, there were other airlines that flew and I could have rebooked them. So I tried to stay away from United and Southwest for that reason, and try and do FunJet more if possible. Okay, so I'm going to choose JetBlue. Okay, and it gave me nonstop both ways. And I've looked into resorts here. The main 2 I've looked into are Alexandra and Blue Haven. I believe Blue Haven is a little bit smaller. I'm going to go into the Alexandra resort. And you can either choose the base room, but here Ocean View is not much difference in price than Garden View. So I'm going to choose the Studio Ocean View room. So 2 other things that I use when I do my mock bookings, I use TripAdvisor and I use the hotel website, and actually 3 things, and Expedia. I use those 3, and I'll show you where I use them. So for Expedia, what I want to do, well, the first thing I want to do is I want to check TripAdvisor. Okay, I want to see what are the reviews. If the reviews are bad, I'm not even going to send anybody to this resort. Okay, so I always try and look for a 4.5 or higher with TripAdvisor. And this is excellent, so perfect. And I look at some of the latest reviews, because if they're all bad, I don't want to send them. So they're all great reviews, perfect. Another reason you can use TripAdvisor is you can use their photos. So when you use their photos, you want to make sure it says management. You only want management photos, okay? If you are also choosing photos and you're doing a certain room, so just say I'm doing a garden view room, I will not put pictures of a hotel room that is ocean view. Put what your room is, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Expedia. Now I already know the answer to this, and I'm going to show you what I do. So basically I'm going to do a package. I'm going to see if I'm in the ballpark. So if somebody looks themselves to book this, if I'm in the ballpark of how much it would cost. Okay, so I'm going to look at that. Now, when you do Expedia, the thing you need to do, and this is if any client ever contacts you and says, I found it cheaper, you want to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, okay? So I'm going to want direct flights, and I'm going to want Alexandra Resort. Okay, so I'm going to pick the exact same room. Studio Ocean View. They only have 3 left at that price. Okay, I'm going to do nonstop. And I'm going to choose JetBlue. And I'm going to make sure I do blue because I believe that's what I have here. Yep, I have blue right here. So you don't want blue basic, you don't want the economy. So you're going to select that and the return flight. Okay. The one thing with Expedia, you cannot have travel insurance, so you'd have to do that separate. And the way you also check is you want to check the fare details. So this is Economy Coach U. So if you're ever doing a price match, this is important. I don't know where it's saying it. Maybe it's not saying it on here. Oh yeah, U right there. It does say it. So that's where you need the flight information. You need to make sure it's the same fare class. Okay, then I'm going to add a shuttle onto it. All right, so this does not include travel insurance, but it is going to be cheaper. It's $4,003.47. And mine would be about $200 off of this, about $4,300. So it's not a big difference, but I'm still going to price this. And if somebody reaches out to me and they want to book it, I will say, if I can have their, as long as the pricing is still the same on Expedia, I have to double check that. I would say, if you can give me your names as on your passports, your dates of birth, I can put this on hold and I can get you a price match. So you want to make sure you want to hit email print itinerary to see if you can hold it. And this one you can hold for 1 day and that's it, because it is deposit due on October 21st. Okay. That is also important to write down, which I don't have a notebook, this would be $450 per person deposit, and you can hold it for 1 day. You can get travel insurance through Vax if you book direct with Vax. You cannot get it through Expedia. So if somebody wants to book on their own on Expedia, they are not able to get travel insurance with that. They are able to, a lot of times it'll say cancel by a certain date, and you can do that, but you wouldn't have travel insurance on your trip. Okay. All right. So this is what I have. All right. And sometimes what we also have different than Expedia is sometimes there are amenities included, like a resort credit or a free champagne breakfast or something like that. And let me say that real quick. I have been banned from Facebook for boosting posts because I wrote the word in-room champagne breakfast. I wrote champagne, and you're not allowed to talk about alcohol. So you have to use emojis if you're going to do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and do this, even though it's a couple $100 more than Expedia. Expedia does have only 3 more of those rooms, so the price might go up. You never know. So I'm going to do save itinerary, and I'm going to do Turks mock booking. So every time, morning, noon, and night, when I'm going to go and share this into groups, I'm going to make sure first that the price is not increased. Okay. Next thing I want to do, I need to find it. Sorry, I need to write stuff down. So it was, you can hold it for 1 day, and then it's $450 deposit per person. I never put exact amounts when I do my mock bookings, and I never put a resort name when I do mock bookings. I never do those. They can ask me for the resort, let them reach out to me, but I never put it on the post. So it's a studio ocean view, and it's May 1st to May 6th. Before I go ahead, does anybody have any questions as far as just pulling up a mock booking? Okay, thank you.
You said you never put the resort name or the exact price?
Correct. Well, I don't put the exact price. So like for $45.18,
right.
I would put maybe, normally I'd put $45.50. And just give me that little bit of leverage in case it goes up. But I think this one, I would do $45.25 just because Expedia is cheaper.
Okay, gotcha.
And you could also do it by person, $22.75 per person based on double occupancy. So you could do either way. And maybe I would do that actually per person. But you always have to say based on double occupancy.
I still need to get comfortable with my bookings.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would do these literally 3 to 5 times a week and share them 3 times a day into 5 groups for the first year. And I now have, I think I have over 1,900 followers on my Facebook group. If I do a mock booking, I actually don't do them that often anymore because I can't handle the workload that I have. So if I do one of these, they will, like when I do this for you guys, I will share it into a few groups, but that's it. I won't share it into more because I do have so much work right now. So Evangeline, I don't say the resort name because I want them to reach out to me and ask me what it is rather than them just go and price it out on their own. Okay, Sarah, the deposit amount, when you hit email print itinerary, it will show you when the deposit is due. So whether it's that day, 1 day, 3 days. So this is due in 1 day. JetBlue gives you a day, and here's the deposit amount. I will only put the deposit if it's I won't put if it's over 500 or more per person. So I will do like this, and I never put it as 900 or $899.98. I'll put $450 per person. That's how I word it. And again, this is just how I do it. And if you guys want to do things differently, or you have another trainer that you like better, what they tell you, take a little bit of everybody's and make it your own. Okay. I'm gonna say go over that in a second, Lisa. Where insurance, if you look in Travel Cafe in the back office, AIG insurance. Yeah, Nikki, I do have departure days. I find that Sundays work really well. I don't know why. It's sometimes cheaper, maybe because it's not over the weekend. So a lot of times I'll do a Sunday. Sometimes I'll do a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'll go over that, Michaela, in a second. Oh, okay, Deb, Expedia does have travel insurance you can include, just not on tap. Why don't I list deposits over 500? I don't think it's a real selling point. So I think it's a selling point if it's just, I mean, if you have to pay $2,000 for the trip, then for the deposit, I don't think that's a selling point. And Jade, no, look in Travel Cafe in the back office under suppliers, and AIG is there. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next part unless anybody has any more questions. Okay. All right, so what, are we still getting 16? Commissions on FunJet are the same, what it is. So it's nothing's changed on that. Okay, so I am going to now go and you want to make sure you write everything down. So I want to say how long I can hold it for. I want to say the deposit per person, what kind of room, dates. You want all of that information written down. Okay. Okay, Jade, you know what? You should reach out to your mentor to help you with that then, okay? Or call Archer if so. All right. Okay. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is you want to get photos. You need them to be eye-catching. Pools work well. Beaches work well. I always do a room. I do I do the room, some restaurants, and I do some of the resort. I look on Vax. You can look on. I don't love Vax's photos all the time. So if I can, I would like to do the hotel website. That's the first place I want to look. I'll post it later into the chats, Claudia. Okay, so the gallery. And you want to see if you can, sometimes you can save them, sometimes you can't. So I don't love how their gallery's set up. Okay, so this. Because if you are unmuted, could you please mute yourself? Okay, so I like this one. I'm going to save this image, and it's saved as a JPEG. You want to make sure it can be saved as a JPEG and not a web file. Okay. Like that one. I don't like to do ones with people in it. That's not what I like. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to actually go up to experience, and let's go to dining and bars and see if maybe there's a photo there. Oh, you know what? They had it there under gallery. So I want a good looking restaurant without people, and they've got people in theirs. All right, so let's see what, still go back to experience. I'm going to check this before I go elsewhere. Yeah, so they only have people in theirs. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I will look on TripAdvisor, but I think theirs were older. All right, so now we go back to VAX. Guys, it can take me up to an hour to do a mock booking, but then once I share it into groups, it can take me 10 minutes. I'll save that. Okay, I always love when you can do a restaurant outside. Okay, and then the only other one that I want is their room. So I'm going to go to rooms and studios. And I want a studio ocean view. All right, perfect. So I have my photos. All right, let's see, any questions for those? Okay, yeah, so you copy from TAP. I just like doing those 3 ways. Max number of photos for me, I like 4 or 5. That's just my choice, but it's up to you what you want. I know some people do just 1 photo. Photos that you are not allowed to use. I don't use any TripAdvisor commission photos. I don't use photos from just random people who put it on TripAdvisor. I will only use from VAX, from the website, or from management on TripAdvisor. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go to actually posting it. So posting it, you have a couple different ways. And before I do this, I'm going to show you some of mine, okay? And they've changed things on here for me, so I have trouble finding. So I'm going to have to go back. Sorry, give me a sec. Because what I do also as well, I will say just booked a client. Whenever I book a client, I will either say just booked a client, or I will use it as a mock booking and share it into groups. This one I did not share into groups because I didn't really, I couldn't bring on more clients at that time. Okay, but anytime, like, look, just booked this Punta Cana resort. So anytime I book, I'm going to post it on, and that can be a great thing that you can share into groups. You can also, some groups to join, yard sale groups, no rules groups. What I do is I look for those groups around 60 miles from the 60 miles from the location of the airport. Okay, and the ones that are really good are wedding groups for me. Wedding groups, this one got a ton of, I got a ton of quotes on this one. Wedding groups and moms groups. So for moms groups, what's great is I did, I'll do either, do you need a break from your kids? 2 adults at, and I'll give them that, or I'll say something, if I do a family trip, they go really well. If I post into this one mom's group that I post into, sometimes I always get bookings from it. Okay, so this is one that I did, family vacation in Punta Cana over Easter for 7 nights. I always do my same setup of how I word it. So I'm actually going to copy just to make it easier. This is how I do it. If you are going to do it, don't spell incorrectly. Make sure you have nice photos. Make sure it's easy to read. Don't make it all just one long paragraph. So I sort of put mine into little paragraphs, okay? Please, again, if you are going to follow my page, that's great. You can use this as a guideline, but please don't. 2 things. I've had agents share my post, and that doesn't help you, it helps me. Or they will copy word for word. And please don't do that either. That's all I ask. Okay, so this one I did share. I think I shared 35 times. Somebody shared 2 times. And so post impressions, 15,743. Okay, so this actually did get me a booking that I remember off the top of my head. Trying to think if I trying to look back, but that's basically how I do it. Okay, so I'm not going to show you all of mine, but I think the most I've had is about 25,000 people it's reached. If I do a mock booking and I see it's not reaching people, if I look at the insights and it's reached 200 people in 3 days or 2 days or whatever, or I've shared it 10 times and it's reached minimal people, go and do a new mock booking. That's not working for whatever reason. Do a new mock booking, or maybe those groups are not working. So if I see that my insights aren't good, I will move on. Okay. So to do a post, if you have your Instagram set up with your Facebook, do not ask me how. I just did it. It popped up for me one day. I'm not very tech savvy, but if you do, this is how I do mine. I post schedule in a Facebook Business Suite. So I will click on that. Okay. And sorry, this is the way I will create a post. You can also just do it right on your Facebook page if you want. I'm not good with my phone, so I don't do it on Instagram and then share into Facebook because that's just me. But a lot of people like Instagram that way, but I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to check both boxes. It's going to go on Facebook and Instagram. And for me, I'm just going to copy this, okay? And I'm going to put 5 nights in Turks and Caicos. And I'm going to put $45.25 for 2 adults. Two adults, and the dates, I'm going to do 5/1 to 5/6. I like to push it out for people because my mock bookings, I like to not do it so soon because then they can put down a deposit. Okay. Includes a studio ocean view room at okay, now here it says 5-star. So how I look at that is I'm going to look at Alexandria Resort. And when you, that's not what I want. Right here, it's showing it's a 4-star hotel. I go by that. I don't know if that's true or not. So since that is not a 5-star, I'm going to take away the 5-star. At an all-inclusive, I'm going to put an all-inclusive resort. Nonstop flights from Newark, New Jersey. And hotel transfers, it's not nonstop. Okay. And cancel for any reason travel insurance. Can hold the booking for 1 day at no charge, and then $450 deposit per person due at booking. Call or text. I'm going to have them text Turks. Okay. Can price different departure airports, number of travelers, hotel room and dates, price subject to change in availability. Guys, I make many errors on this. As soon as I post it, I always reread it because I've done it where it says an Aruba vacation and it says call or text Jamaica. And my sister's like, you made a mistake. I just saw it. So double check yourself. Okay, vacation travel, book now, travel later. I'm going to do Turks. And this is more for Instagram. I just make things up. So, all right, so I have that in there. Okay, the next thing you do, when you do it this way, is you add the media here. Okay, so you're going to add photos. Okay, so you're going to add this. Now, this is important. So the aspect ratio, when you are doing this with Instagram, some of these don't have the right aspect ratio. So what I do is I go and I will actually change it for all of them because I want them to sort of look the same. and I will do horizontal. Okay, so horizontal. And you see now it won't say adjust aspect ratio anymore. And then I also go and I will put it in order of how I want it. So you want to have the most eye-catching one first. Okay, so for me, I sort of like the beach one. I always do pools. I'm going to do the beach one. I do the bed last, and I do the restaurant second to last. So then you can see the preview of what it's going to look like. And I see some questions coming in. I'll answer questions in a second. Okay, so that's what it's sort of going to look like on Facebook. Okay, and let's see on Instagram. Okay, and so that would be the first photo on Instagram. Now, I don't love the chair, but I like sort of the umbrella and that kind of thing. Okay, so let me see any questions before I go on. Do I say just booked on mock bookings? No, I don't. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're asking like just book this for a client, would I do that as a mock booking and share into groups? Yes, I have. Okay. Carolina, yes, I need one. I don't remember what I asked. I don't boost, do I boost my mock bookings automatically? So I can't boost mock bookings anymore because of me saying the word champagne. What I used to do is I would not boost that often, but in the beginning I would boost for maybe $5 for 4 days, and I would do it from 60 miles from the airport. So that is a way to build up when you're starting. $5 didn't affect me money-wise. I would not boost it for 20 or something like that. I just did $5. I don't put COVID restrictions in my mock booking. If they reach out to me, that's when I'll talk about it. To make a business page. Oh, yep.
Oh, sorry, my microphone was playing. I think it was the holiday that I need a holiday without kids.
Yeah.
I think I need a holiday
something like that.
I need a holiday on my own, really. I've had enough people already. Can you show again how you have your Instagram attached to your Facebook? Or you don't?
No, I can't because I don't remember how it attached. Okay. So I think you can go into settings on Instagram and put in a linked account. But
so
I
automatically it will show up when you're doing the post on Facebook, like the Instagram tab next to it.
You have to go to Business Suite. And I can show that again. I can show that once I'm done posting this. I can show that again because I can't show it from this page, but I will.
You are right, Jody. You have to go into Instagram and connect it to your Facebook page.
Okay.
Because Facebook owns Instagram. So once you get them connected, then Business Suite operates.
Yeah, it's the Business Suite, the part that I didn't get. Thank you,
yeah,
ladies.
and it used to pop up saying before they just changed Facebook, where it was a big thing, say post, you know, whatever, you can post in both. Now it's just this little line. So I'll show it to you again. To make a business page, do you have to create a whole new account or do you do it off your personal? I created a business page and then I linked my work on my personal page to my business page, but no, I created a new one. Okay, I missed the answer in regards to the Facebook account above. I think that was you may have been asking Sarah what Sabrina said. Oh, good, Julia. I like hearing that I'm helpful. So Maria, as I said earlier, I don't do many mock bookings anymore because I have the clientele. But when I first started, 7 days a week, I would do mock bookings for 2 to 3 times a week of those 7 days. If I found that it was working, I kept doing it. If I saw the price went up, I'd change it. If I saw it wasn't doing well, I change it. I do a new mock booking. But 7 days a week for a year straight, even on vacation, I would share that mock booking into 5 groups in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, 5 at night. I didn't do this once a week. I did 7 days a week. So if on a Sunday I wasn't working, because I didn't work as many hours back then, I'd wake up in the morning, do 10 minutes by sharing it, making sure the price hasn't changed, share it into groups. Then I would do it 5 in the afternoon and 5 at night. Kim, I don't know about algorithm, but it definitely helps if you boost, if you don't have many followers, because it's going to go to new people. So I'm not familiar with the Facebook algorithms and all that.
Julie,
yes, Sarah. Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, this is Iris. I just have a quick question. When you do like the 3 times morning, afternoon, and night, the postings in different groups, do you use the same, or do you the same ad, or do you do 3 separate ones? The 3 separate postings, just one?
Yeah, just one. And I change it every 2 to 3 days, pretty much, the mock booking, but I just do one mock booking. Thank you. Sure. Yes, Sarah, if you Google how to link Instagram account, I Google everything. Yes, Julie, I have a business Instagram account. I don't do very well with that. Susan, where can you find current COVID restrictions? I Google COVID restrictions. I'm not sure if Rising Tide has something on their website, but I always Google, like I was working on Antigua the other day and I searched Antigua COVID travel restrictions. And you can find usually like from that country, that island, it will tell you the COVID restrictions. Okay. Yeah, Evangeline, I know that if you post directly from Instagram, you can do that, but I don't like to post from Instagram because I personally like the computer. I find it easier for me. No, I don't schedule mock bookings, Lisa, because what if the price goes up? So I never schedule mock bookings. Okay. Oh, awesome, Cheyenne, awesome. Yeah, she's been consistent doing mock bookings, daily posting in groups. Also join groups. If you're in a mom's group and somebody says, I need a travel agent. Hey, I'm a travel agent. I specialize in this. But guys, where people I have found are not successful is they do literally one mock booking, share it into 5 groups, and then 2 weeks later do another mock booking, share it into maybe 3 groups. No. I would share sometimes 40 into 40 groups over the course of a few days. You have to be consistent. What is your advice of a mock booking? Kim, I don't understand. Get a heart response. Like if they just like it, I'd stick with groups pretty much always. I don't really leave groups. I really don't leave groups. Yes, Hope, I am preaching. All right, I'm going to show you that now. Okay. All right, guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread it and I'm going to publish it. So 5 nights in Turks and Caicos, $45.25 for 2 adults, or you could also put, like I said, $22.75. You know what? Maybe I will do that. Let's do this. $22.75 per person base. It sounds better than $4,500 on double occupancy. 5.1 to 5.6. Includes the studio, ocean view room, and an all-inclusive resort. Non-stop flights from New York, and cancel for any reason. Can hold the booking for 1 day at no charge. Call or text Turks. Can price blah, 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 blah. Okay, and my photos, and I'm going to publish. Guys, if you are not using Google Sheets, you are missing out. These are all my groups. These are the dates that I last posted, what I posted, how many followers, and the rules of the group. So when I join a group, I always put what the rules are. I put what I posted. The worst thing you can do is do a mock booking. Somebody contacts you about it and you have no clue what resort. You need to know these things. Okay, so let me go back into my JZW and show you what it looks like. Okay, so that is what it looks like. All right, so before I go and I post it into groups, I am going to go and post it on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, I do have a page that I set up for JCW Travel. I personally do not post my mock bookings into my personal page on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really for networking, old school networking. So I try and respect that. So on my personal page, I'll do more things about travel articles or things like that, but I don't really post mock bookings in there. That is me. That does not mean it's right or wrong. That's just me. But right now, look at this. I've got 1,500 followers on LinkedIn. So I get most of my clients from LinkedIn or from Facebook. Okay, so for here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the photos. With LinkedIn, I've not figured out yet if you can change the order of photos. And for whatever reason, it always starts with a bed. So it is what it is, but this is why it'll look there. So it still looks nice. I'm going to paste this, make my shit. I must have copied the wrong one. Sorry. Copy. Okay, let's try the right one. And I did not want to do that. Okay, let's do. You want to paste it as plain text, not just paste. Maybe third time's the charm. Okay, there we go. You want to paste it as plain text because it comes through with the emojis. It took me forever to figure that out. Okay, you're making my little paragraphs again, and I'm going to post it there. Okay. But look at this. In the last 30 days, I've had 3,000 post impressions from LinkedIn. And why is it not posting? Okay, there we go. Okay, and the other thing that's great with this is when people come to my LinkedIn, pretty much only has, very rarely, sometimes I will put in articles, but I pretty much only have my mock bookings. Okay. All right, so now to join groups, you want to join yard sale groups near you. You want to join, like I said, no rules groups. You want to join community bulletin boards, Craigslist, wedding groups, moms groups. Those are pretty much what I sort of look for. I try and join 5 groups a day and keep up with that. I highly recommend doing a spreadsheet. You might start off with just a few groups, but it does add up, okay? Let me see, any questions? Okay. So how you get into the groups is that you go to the group. Let me go back to. I always join groups as myself. That's me personally. So let's just see, New York. Okay, so this one I joined. All right, so this one I joined and I read the rules. You read the rules right here. Some say you can post, once a week, or you can post only on Fridays or only whatever. If that says that, if it says 15th and 30th of the month, you can post. That's on my calendar to share into that group that day. If it says on a Saturday, you can post. Put that on your calendar to share that day. But basically all you do is you look for groups and you hit join. So just say I'm going to search for, I'm doing Newark, New Jersey. So Newark, New Jersey yard sale. Okay, New Jersey online sell page. You want to make sure you're in a group, not just a page to like, okay? Okay, must be a physical item. So this says no, if you're a business, no. So I wouldn't do that, but you keep searching like that and then you just hit join group, okay? All right. Okay, Renee, yeah, I don't post on my profile page. I just do my business. Okay, answer that, Jeremiah. You just have to keep reading. There are tons of groups. I mean, look at this. I have joined over 100 groups, almost 200 groups, and they're not against community standards. So they're there. You just have to look for them. When they text me, Eileen, I send them a form to fill out with, well, no, I shouldn't say that, because if they're asking for the exact one, I will set up a phone call because I want them to know I'm a real person. Awesome, Hope. Getting you organized. So I will show you how I post. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I think I might actually have, yeah, I did make this up so I could share it with people. I don't want that to share. Okay, I'm putting in here my template for how I do my groups. Okay. And I've lost the chat. I've lost the chat. Oh, there we are. Okay. Oh yeah, Joetta, you definitely need that to know where you put it. It takes a little bit longer. Okay. And Hope, that's great. You do 5 or 10 a day, guys. Don't do joining more than 10 a day. You don't want to end up in Facebook jail. Yep. Okay. Oh, you had to request access? Shoot, no. Don't request access. Let me get it for you again. I did a restricted link. I didn't mean to. This one should work. Sorry, guys. See if that one works. If not, don't request access. I'll figure out how to. That one worked? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. All right, now I'm going to show you how I post it into groups, okay? Eileen, the Google Sheets are huge. Kelly, if you're not on a computer, you can still open that link and you can just have it on your Safari. So you have that. The X's, Alicia, are for if I know that they post right into the group, or if it's an X, it's just for me. An X is for if they post right into the group. If they don't post right into the group, and it has to go by admin approval. No X's there. Oh, awesome. Thank you. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let me do this, and then I have got to jump off this soon. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have my groups, and I need to find stuff that's up that way. I could probably do, sorry, I'm just trying to find New Jersey. Okay, New Jersey yard sales. New Jersey garage sales. Okay, so I've copied this. You have to make sure that you are posting as yourself. Okay, and well, that's how I do it. And I'm going to share into a group. They used to do it where you could choose 5, but they don't do that anymore. I'm going to do New Jersey yard sales. And I'm going to just make sure that I make my paragraphs again. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to post it. I'm going to do 5 this time. I'm going to let you watch me do 5. I don't know. Okay. And that was New Jersey yard sales. Because the reason is I want to then check the insights to see later and just tell you for 5 how many I did. So I'm going to do morning 1, even though it's afternoon. And I'm going to do Turks, Alexandra. So I know what resort. Okay. I am going to do New Jersey by, oh no, you know what I want to do? This one, I think I joined as my business, but I'm going to do that as my business. So here I want to do it as JZW Travel because I did join, I think I had to join as a business, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to share to a group. I'm going to do Lehigh Valley weddings. Okay, so you can see that once you're actually sharing into groups, it doesn't take that long. And let's do Lower Bucks County yard sale. Oh, actually, you know what? I know that sometimes you get to know that some do really well. I'm going to do Hamilton Township yard sale. So I need to go back and do it as myself. Share to a group. So look at how long it takes me just to share. The hard part is the actual doing the mock booking, but the sharing doesn't take long. Two more guys and then I'll be done. How much Winslow? Yeah, so you used to be able to pick all the groups and then do it at one time, which I missed that. What's neat to see is if you know how many times you've done it. So I always do it in groups of 5. If you see that it's shared 7 times or 8 times, you know that somebody else shared your group, shared it. So that's pretty cool as well. Let's do Harleysville. Let's go there. Actually, I don't want to do Harleysville. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let's do New York City Garage. No, I don't love doing New York City because I find that they can be mean. Sometimes they're not that nice in their groups. Okay, post. Okay, so I just did 5. Okay, so let me type. All right, so that's why I say don't do it a number that you know, so then you're able to see how your insights are. So, all right. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, but you guys can stay on. So, did I stop? I think I stopped sharing. Did I stop sharing? There we go. No, I did not stop sharing. There we go. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned something from this. Again, make it your own. Figure out what works for you. I have one thing I didn't say is I have done posters in the past. They have not worked for me. So for me, doing those photos like that worked rather than doing actual posters. So thanks so much. Bye.